Hello everyone, welcome to Beyond Knowledge. In this video, I would like to talk about how planets affect our life. If you believe in astrology, which is a very ancient knowledge gathered by human beings, I don't know how they gathered that, maybe through meditation or maybe they read some other scriptures and found that, but astronomy and astrology have a lot of correlation. Astronomy is the study of planets, their position, and astrology is the study of planets based on their position, how human life gets affected on Earth. So not only human life, various events that happen in our life on this Earth, even I think for creatures as well as for the rivers, weather and all those stuff, all affairs related to human life or life on this Earth has got some connection with planets. That is what astrology says. And astrology is a very ancient knowledge. There is Greek astrology, there is Romanian astrology. So astrology is not something that is believed only in India. The ancient Greeks and the ancient Romanians also believed in that. And this is based on the movement of planets and how it affects human life. So I think the telescope was invented maybe 150-200 years back, and we got to study about planets, their position, about the Milky Way, the solar system. But maybe 10,000 years back or maybe 5,000 years back, there are scriptures in India that talk about the movement of planets, the color of planets, the position from Earth, how they orbit around the sun, and the various psychological effects and the physiological effects that human beings go through when planets go around the solar system. Earth also goes around the sun, and that is how you have different seasons, summer, winter. The Earth moves from the sun. There is different points in distance when it comes to the rotation of the Earth, the speed of the Earth. Different planets have different speeds. Earth goes around the sun, it takes 365 days. Jupiter may have a different cycle, Saturn may have a different cycle. So based on the birth chart, based on the time of birth, place of birth, and the date of birth, every human being who comes into this world comes with a set of karmas. So that is what we call as the natal chart or the birth chart in astrology. So that is the karma. It talks about the karma bank, how much you have deposited in your karma bank, how much is that you can take from your previous births, the good and the bad actions that you've committed in your earlier life. So basically your natal chart is a blueprint of your karma. What have you got to do in this earthly life? What are you here to do? What are you going to accomplish here? What is destined for you? What is not destined for you? We all know that it is very difficult for somebody to be like another person, whether he is successful or not. One president cannot be like the other president. He can be better, he can be a little bit below in performance compared to the other president. Whether it comes to knowledge, whether it comes to wealth, whether it comes to health, we all have different things to experience in this world. The experience is not the same. Even like brothers or sisters coming out of the same mother's womb have to go through different experiences in life. When it comes to their lifespan, when it comes to their health, when it comes to their wealth, it is not the same for everybody. So astrology says that different people are born with different karmas in this world, and based on the karmas they will have different experiences in this life. And when the movement of planets affect us and they decide how the karma needs to be distributed to human beings during their lifetime, whether it is good or bad. If they have done good things in their past life, they go through good stuff. If they have done very bad things in their past life, then they'll have to suffer in this world accordingly. So again, karma, horoscope, astrology and time, which is called a kala, is all intertwined together, because from the time a person is born until the time he goes to the grave, the different incidents that happen in his life the physical changes that his body has to undergo, diseases, psychological problems, worries, distress, good luck, bad luck, wealth creation, everything is affected by planets. So if you don't believe in astrology, at least, then you need to believe that, I hope you believe, and it has been proved by science, that the high tide and low tide is caused by the moon, which is the nearest planet to the earth. So planets have definitely an impact on the tides. It makes the ocean, the water levels rise, millions and trillions of liters of water in the ocean. It causes changes in that. It causes changes to the living creatures living inside the sea. If you still look at India, the fishermen look at the position of the moon before they venture into the sea. There are certain times when the sea behaves very rough. There are certain times when the sea becomes, very gentle. And the moon's position affects the high tides and the low tides. When a planet that is closer to the earth can have so much impact on an ocean, why can't this have impact on our human body? Is the question asked by astrology to mankind. I think our body is 75% water. So when we have water inside our body, definitely we are also affected by the planets. So if there is something called a Chandra Shama, I don't want to go into the details of it, but you can Google it. So during Chandra Shama time, people go through different experiences. It's normally, the position of the moon or the zodiac sign of the individual. And during this period, they make bad decisions in their life. They get irritated. They are short-tempered. They don't know what they do. So this is there for a period of 2 to 3 days generally for each zodiac sign every month. And any important decisions are generally not taken during this period. Of course, in today's modern world, it's very difficult to follow all that. But if you look at the Chandrashtama days and compare with the events that happened in those days, you will see that you are emotionally not fit on those days. Your emotional equilibrium would have got affected because the movement of moon affects you. So that is the principle behind it. Animals behave very weird, based on the waxing and waning of the moon. And people who have psychological problems also behave in a very weird way based on the movement of the moon. If you go to mental asylums, you will see people screaming and they become very violent on days where, based on the moon's movement, I think on full moons, if I'm not wrong. So definitely planets do have an impact on human life. There is no doubt about it. Each planet in the solar system exhibits some kind of an energy on human beings. And during that period, they go through different things. They make good decisions, they make bad decisions, they are irritated, they are calm. Some people get lucky during this period, they make the right moves. So planets do have an effect on your brain cells. Now somebody can ask me this question: how a planet like a Saturn or how a planet like Jupiter is I think 365 million kilometers away from Earth, at least from its nearest point, have an impact on a human being. Every planet emits some kind of an energy. Now in this room, I have different stuff around me and everything emits a different kind of energy. For example, copper. If you look at a lightning arrestor, it's made out of copper because copper can conduct electricity. It conducts electricity, and that's why lightning arrestors are made out of copper. And still in Indian villages, when somebody goes out to the field and when they have some kind of a copper vessel with them, it's pretty dangerous on days where lightning is very high because the copper can attract, the electrical energy is absorbed by copper. So when there is very high lightning and when you use some kind of a copper vessel, you can be hit by a lightning. So that is the extent to which metals have affinity with the nature, or each and every metal has got some kind of a property. Gold has got a different melting point. Silver has got a different melting point. Their properties are different. So each and every planet has got a different property. The characteristics are different, and it affects human life. Each and every planet, and this is something that's been proved through science, each and every planet sends some kind of a pulse to Earth. There is some aura around each and every planet, and this is not astrology. This is explained by science. I read in some of the recent articles that each and every planet emits some kind of a pulse, across the solar system. And we as human beings, we are very, very energy sensitive. When we eat some kind of foods, our energy levels are different. When we don't sleep, our energy levels are different. When we work out, our energy levels are different. So we are sensitive to the energies in our cosmos. There is no doubt about it. If you hold a magnet in your hand for a long time, you get some kind of a numb feeling. Your hand, you'll have some kind of a muscle ache because it absorbs, it tries to attract the iron, in your blood. So when you sit near a magnet, it's not good for you for a long time. So between the magnet and your body, there is some kind of an energy. And what I'm talking right now is not related to any particular religion or faith. Whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a Jew, the law of gravity works for everybody. Whether you're a Hindu, whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a Christian, on full moon days, right, there is light on this earth from the moon. And during some periods you experience darkness from the moon. We all breathe oxygen. We exhale carbon dioxide. We are governed by the laws of the universe. So whatever I am saying right now does not correlate with any religious beliefs. Some religions say that you need not look at astrology. That is a sin. You shouldn't look at astrology. God knows your future. And I am completely respectful to those religions. I'm not saying people in all religions need to believe in astrology and all those stuff. If you believe in God, if you are self-confident, if you are confident about your efforts, if you are confident that good things will happen to you, that's more than enough. But astrology is basically giving us a roadmap on how your life is going to be. What are the periods when you need to be careful? So let's say when you are climbing a mountain, I'm saying that, when your car is nearing the 18th turn, there is a hairpin bend. You need to be very careful. So you need to reduce your speed from 100 to 40. So if you have that map with you, you will know when to reduce the speed, when to increase the speed. It's like an air traffic control, helping the pilots during landing and taking off. That this is the visibility. The runway, there is like maybe 1 centimeter to 1 inch of water on the runway. They give maximum information to the pilot so that they can make accurate decisions, judgments about how they need to land or take off. So the astrologer basically gives you some ideas about how your time is basically. Is this a good time? Is there a bad time? And forget astrology, right? Even for any fruits or plants, there is some kind of a time it follows. For example, apple doesn't grow in South India, but apple grows in North India. Certain fruits that is available in India is not available in Europe. What is available in Europe doesn't grow in US. So different cultures have different weather conditions, and the growth of species. Some species are found in some countries, some species are not found in some countries. Some variety of snakes are found in some countries, some variety of snakes are not found in other countries. And even if you look at dates, or even if you look at maybe fruits or apple, the Washington apple is different from an apple grown in some other country, maybe due to climatic conditions, weather, soil, whatever it is. So things are different in this earth. It's not the same thing that happens everywhere. So each planet exhibits some kind of an energy, and it has got an impact on us. And each and every planet has got a magnetic field around it. And this is a great mystery. The study of auras and the study of the pulse emitted from different planets, the scientists are puzzled. They are really mysterious about how these things can happen. So the astrologers say that the Shani Mahadasha, I think, which is for a period of close to 30 years, people go through difficulties. It's a challenging time, and it is true. People go through a lot of hardships and difficulties during this period. Things are not easy for them. They want to do something, they want to close something within 2 days, but it can get dragged to 10 days, 15 days. There is aimless travel, there is distress. You are not able to make the right decisions. Emotionally, you are affected during this period. And there is something called Jupiter's Mahadasha, which is Saturn, the most benefic planet. And during this period, a lot of auspicious things happen to people. You know, a marriage, birth of a child, all these things happen when you are going through Jupiter's phase, or when Jupiter is strong in your horoscope, or when you are going through Jupiter's Mahadasha or Antardasha. Hence, there is a strong connection between the different dashas, or the period the planet rules you, and the different activities that you do. When it comes to marriage, job, health, what happens to me this year is not the same that happens to me next year. Things are going to be difficult. Things are going to be easy for me. Whatever I feel as challenge this year is not going to be a challenge next year. So things change. So that's what astrology says. When the movement of planet happens around the solar system, or when Earth moves around the orbit, there is different kind of vibrations it receives from other planets, and it affects human life. So these planets that I'm talking about, they have an impact on your brain cells, on your decision making abilities. So let's say if a company is very successful in a particular venture, in acquiring a company, but the next company that he acquires, he makes a major blunder there. He goes through the due diligence, he follows all the processes and protocols, but he is not successful in the next venture. And at some point of time, he says that, well, that's how it was supposed to happen. People who don't like to talk about destiny, or who don't like to use the word destiny or fate, say that these things happen in life and they move on. Because at one point of time, you don't have concrete answers as to why you made that decision. Everybody wants to make the right decisions. Nobody wants to make wrong decisions. Everybody wants good things to happen in their life. But good things don't happen every time. Bad things don't happen every time. You go through fortunate phases in your life. You go through unfortunate phases in your life. So the auras and the pulses from planets have definitely got an impact on us. They affect our brain cells. For example, during Saturn's phase, students go through very bad period. They are not able to plan their career well, education well. And you ask them at a later point of time, they say that, well, when I used to study, when I used to go to my school and college, I used to face a lot of difficulties. Things didn't happen the way I wanted to be. Some of my colleagues were more lucky. So the other way to talk about fate and destiny is, to use the word luck and unluck. Luck is again related to destiny. You say that some people are lucky, some people are unlucky. Now this is again related to destiny, because luck and bad luck is again bestowed by planets according to astrology. Yes, I am a firm believer in working hard, being diligent, being smart, being deterministic about what you want in life, set goals, prioritize goals, have different strategies, execute them, plan them, learn from mistakes. All these things are there. I'm not denying. But at the same time, the impact of planets is also very much felt by human beings once you learn the basics of astrology. Now, some people will say that this is not there because they don't know that astrology exists, or some people believe that let the planets do whatever they want to do, let the stars do great things for me, or make a havoc out of my life. I don't care. I'll just go ahead with what I wanted to do. But what astrology is saying, there is good and bad times for doing this, and there are times when you have to be extra cautious. For example, somebody who is driving on a road to work, he would have used that road for last 10 years, but on one particular day maybe he felt like going above the speed limit that would have caused some kind of an accident. So why did he go above the recommended speed on that particular day? What made him do that? Maybe the causes and conditions, he had a meeting to attend, and why he was cautious at a different point of time. So when you go through this bad phase, you make wrong decisions in your life. When it comes to divorce, when it comes to bad health, when it comes to bad relationships, some people are out of control. sometimes, and this is because of planets. And they themselves say that I don't know why I behaved like that on that particular day. I should have been more careful. I did not have a control over my tongue. I did not have a control over my words. So they themselves don't know the reason why. Even very intelligent people, sometimes they become fool if your time is not good. So if you are destined for some kind of a loss to happen, it will happen. You can be very careful, you can be very cautious about it, but sometimes it just happens, guys. And what else do I have to talk about? Planets and their effect on human life. Made some notes here. So during Jupiter's phase, you can learn, you can disseminate knowledge. During Saturn's phase, it is better to avoid making any major decisions in life because you are going to end up in a fiasco. That's the general belief. Or you are more prone to making wrong decisions or doing wrong things in life during Saturn's phase. During Jupiter's phase, it's going to be more benefic. These are some of the things that I wanted to tell you. So that is the essence of my of this particular video, guys, that planets have an impact on human life, whether you believe in it, whether you don't believe in it. If you believe in it, then you need to learn the basics of astrology and compare with the events that happened in your life. I am 100% sure that you will be able to see a trend. You'll be able to connect the dots, the favorable times and the unfavorable times that happened in your life. What events happened in your life during that period. And during a bad phase, definitely you would have gone through very stressful time, very difficult time. And during good phase, you would have been very lucky when it comes to career or whatever it is. So see you in my next video. Thank you. If you like my video, click the like button, subscribe to my channel. See you in my next video. Bye.